Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Underrail Expedition. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're just to join me today as I speed the game up a little bit, for one. Also, get my chair closer to the microphone so I can talk to you a little bit better. But also as we solve a mission for the doctor over there, because there's apparently bad things going on in here, apart from the red hound alphas over there, and the warthog that snorts and the other growls. It calmly observes you with its numerous eyes, does the pacified coil spider. And the animal caretaker, Psycho is the most dangerous one of them all, says that. We got a pacified... The creature completely ignores... What does it do? Your presence. It does that. It ignores my presence, which is good, because otherwise it would get a little bit upset on account of me being here. So... we have explosive barrels, as you do, in an animal containment facility. We have a ventilation shaft over there. The vent is too narrow to crawl through. Again, it is not the shaft, it is the vent. The shaft is inside, but the game actually calls it vent, which makes sense, because that's how every game does. But apparently these are too narrow for me to crawl through, which is weird, because that's the size of all of them. That's them. That's those. What might that mean, though? Is it a situation where the creature is going to come through there? I think that might be what is going to happen. There's Psycho. Hey, Psycho. What's my objective? Do I need to kill you? I think I might need to kill it. Let's see. Psycho, one of the dangerous NPS specimens, has escaped its enclosure at the Institute of Chort. You are given a portable neural pacifier to use on the creature, but you can only do so after you weaken and incapacitate it. If Psycho is accidentally killed, the consequences will be dire. Well, I want to. There's many things. I want to kill it, for one, so I can see the consequences, dire though may be, but also, it's not accidentally killed. I'm doing it on purpose. So let's find out what kind of things. Oh, Slimy, hello. We haven't seen that yet. Is Slimy purring at me? No, that's Dusty. Hello, Dusty. The door does not have a conventional lock. Well, that doesn't matter if it has or not. Just open it. Look at this one. See? It opens, and it sounds like we have Gray, we have Lucy in here. Lucy's just doing her thing. And I guess that's that. Oh, that's Growls. Don't worry, it's all fine. Well, I guess the consequences weren't very dire, were they? Oh no, I forgot. Oh, it doesn't matter. But I forgot about the autosave. I don't have the autosave on. And we are gonna have the autosave on transitions on, so that nothing, so that we can do our thing. Although, this doesn't save it either way, so it's not like it matters. Oh, it's coming. Is it? It is. By location and runs away. There it is. So what do I want to do? I want to do... Oh, I'm going to kill myself. Wow. That was not ideal. But it doesn't matter, because we have the ability... I think I have the ability. F? There we go. The neural overload over there. So you're dead. And this thing, I'm just going to need to apply the thing that I got. There it is, the portable neural pacifier. Not really sure how that works. I'm healing. Thank you. Oh. Wait, what? No, it's stunned, but... Oh, I can't... Oh, there it is. There it is. We got this. The creature seems knocked out for the time being. Now that you have a chance to take a closer look, can you truly admire its impressive size? However, it appears that its rough... its rough, scarred carapace reveals more than you had expected. This creature is one of extreme age. How old exactly? You aren't sure. You aren't sure how old exactly. Miniature landscapes adorn the beetle's back. Every scar, scratch, or defect on it illustrates a separate story of this being's long past. But time to study it, you do not have time to study it. Why do you do it? Don't do weird inverted sentences. My god, this game does that so much. It's hard for me to even to say them, let alone understand them as I say them. Anyway, however, as the creature could regain consciousness at any moment, and I'm going to use the neural pacifier on the creature, you perform the procedure as you were instructed. You position the device so that the markers match the carapace opening line of the beetle's head and press the activation button on the neural pacifier. As soon as you do so, you hear the device activating, and after a brief delay, a faint sound of the carapace cracking reaches your ears. Or your ear, just the one. You expect some reaction from the creature, twitching or some other motion because you saw this stuff in the movies, but the beetle remains static. Soon, everything quiets down. No, the kitty is still purring. So it's a good thing that I can press tab to interact with that. It is not a good thing that I got blown up in the face. I didn't like that too much. Do I have some batteries? I do. Put them in there. And put these in here as well. Everything is nice. We don't need to worry. I am probably regenerating. Yes, I am. And I am very successful at all my enterprises. Everything is good. Okay, so now I can save. Because the game didn't know how to save it, just in case. Is it done? I forgot his voice. Yes, it is done. I planted the neural pacifier on the creature's head, and it is now pacified. Well. Very, very good. Very good. I'm pleased. I will send someone to take care of that. And you? Your name was... Carrie. Carrie, I heard that just recently. Figurine? Did you... Oh, yes. Now I understand everything. I would like to apologize for my earlier behavior. Magnificent chort. It's always just... I have a lot of work here, an incredible amount of work, and every time someone enters my office, something goes horribly awry. It directly translates to more trouble, and all that before I had even get the chance to drink my first cup of mushroom tea of the day. Yeah, well, you did good, indeed. And for that, here is something for you. If you seek more work, why not drop by my office sometime, sis? I think I have got some stuff for a woman like yourself. A person like yourself. Because otherwise it's creepy. Well, unless it isn't. But either way, it probably is. Just a person like yourself. Do you have any more work for me? Because we're already at your office, you doofus. Indeed I do. I have 2 jobs for you as a matter of fact, sis. The first requires you to take a ferry ride to a pretty remote place in lower Underrail. And the second one is about a genetics disease. Not a genetic disease, it's a genetics disease. It's very interesting how it is. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, resistance project. What? A project of resistance of diseases of genetics. Interested in any of the 2, or both perhaps? Yes, both perhaps is what I want. What about the genetic? Oh, it's a genetic disease. You just forgot that adjectives don't get pluralized in English. Well, it's something I got from the top. You don't want to get diseases from the top, dude. You know what I mean. No, I don't. I super don't have the time. Someone comes into my office and drops some stuff on my desk, whether I like it or not. I am the... Yes, and then you get a disease. I am the PI of the busiest department in Institute of Chort, so things like that are unavoidable, I guess. Magnificent chort. So, what I got was about a project on genetic disease resistance. I have to find some subjects who have shown great resilience to this deadly disease. Yeah, that's what I was told. What that means is, I, the principal investigator, have to worry about subjects when I have the pacification project on my hands. Shortest recombination paperwork to finish. George's protein design data to review. I realize I'm just spewing words at you right now, but bear with me. We're gonna get to a point. Even study some developed cymorphs from deep caverns that were recently brought in. That's all the things. What I need of you is the following. walk outside the Institute, there's a bunch of people there, and ask around if anyone exhibits what we require. If not, well, we did our best. Let someone else deal with it. If you do find someone, even better. Since they are already here, they would be easy to convince to come here and do some simple tests. Nothing painful. That is all regarding the matter, indeed. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I think I understand what I'm supposed to do. I'll see what I can do. Oh no, I meant to say the short guide you bit. I'm interested in what you described as a, quote, fairy trip, although I don't remember you saying those words. Alright, sis, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Forsaken Island? No. Okay, there's no shame in that. Allow me to explain what it is. The Forsaken Island is a remote island situated somewhere between Core City, approximately southeast of it, and It's somewhere between Core City. No, it isn't. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, around, perhaps. Somewhere around Core City, approximately southeast of it, and the more southern parts of... Oh, it's the inverted sentences again. Okay, we can do that. The Forsaken Island is a remote island situated somewhere between Core City and the more southern parts of Lower Underrail. Approximately southeast of Core City. That's ways of... Oh, okay. It is, people say, it is surrounded by violent currents that makes it... that makes sense. Which makes it an unpopular place for tourism. Which is an unpopular activity anyway in this world because everybody dies a lot. So there's no tourism. But whatever. I felt like, it's also an unpopular place for... surfing. People don't surf all that much. However, there is something else there, sis. The Forsaken Behemoth. Now, I have heard some exaggerated stories about its appearance and behavior. It breathes fire, it shoots lasers from its eyes, it has 7 heads, various nonsense. I mean, the creature, if real, might have some psionic abilities, I don't deny that. It's just that some of the things I have heard take it too far. However, that is consistent with all these, or what is consistent with in all of these stories, or those, can be summarized like this. It is a big lizard. A very, very big lizard. And if it really exists, I want a piece of it. I mean, not fight it, but rather... Oh, because it's a joke. Okay, whatever. I know what you mean. So what I wish you to do is basically this. Go to the island, find someone who is crazy enough to take you there, see if... Which I suppose you need to do it before going to the island, and see... So... What you need to do is find someone who's crazy enough to take you to the island, and then go to the island, see if the creature exists, and bring me a sample of it. There is a possibility it is the only of its kind, so try not to cull it. Kill it. I am a silly person, so I'd say cull instead of kill. For we might return later and try to capture it. Simple, sis. Really simple. The pay is good. 650 charons is, in my opinion, very good, and you'll receive it without commas between the good and the end, even though there should be, once you come back from the island. What do you say? Dangerous journey to hunt a giant monster? Count me in. Very good. That is all. Yep, that is all. Good luck and short guide you, sis. Yes, but I want to ask you more questions. Well, I asked you all the questions already. Investigator Vuk told me about your permission to purchase something from him. What do you need from him? Organs, tissue, and stuff like that? I don't see why not. Rip it from his body anytime you like. Anyway, we have... Rip it. No, that's... Rip them. Then that would have worked. But now it's just a... Anyway. We have those in large quantities. You have my permission. So now I can go over here and talk to this fellow over here and get to barter, which is the... I mean, I'm not going to buy anything, but... maybe I am. No, I'm not. He also doesn't want any of my stuff, which is very sad. I don't like that. Okay, so we gained 3 experience from that. So that was pretty cool. I thought I was going to the correct place, but apparently I'm not. Or apparently I didn't go to the correct place because I was trying to find where iodine is, but I didn't. So the ventilation or the vents, are all very narrow, so we're not going to be able to go through them. We don't need to go through them. I have hiccups. There's just growling. Don't worry about it. And, well, that's it. So now to find iodine. I don't know how I'm going to find iodine. So this is the genetics laboratory. Let's see if there's like... what's the word? Like indications. Not indications, you know, signs. Signs is what I want. Although I think I might be mistaken, because I thought iodine was to the west. Or to the east. Oh, iodine is over here. What you doing over here? Is it normal for you to be here? I think I need to go upstairs.
I apologize, but I cannot speak to you at this time. I am pondering some difficult questions. The fountain has a relaxing effect on me and aids my thinking. I am sure we will converse again at a more appropriate time.
Okay. Let's go upstairs. I'm pretty sure it is not upstairs. It could be. No. This is where we got the quest. I mean... Oh, this is Iodine's... Oh, no, it is. It is. This is Iodine's office. I mean, most likely. Look at that. There's a whiteboard. Only smart people use whiteboards. I say as somebody who doesn't use a whiteboard. So I can say things like that that are obviously bad to say. They're not bad to say, they're just wrong. But what I mean is I'm making a joke. And at my since it's at my expense, I can make it. Because if I said it, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I could say, like, if I say, well, only smart people play turn-based games, then, you know, we'd sort of be in agreement, because, you know, we all play turn-based games. I mean, most of us anyway. Because you might not play turn-based games and still be watching a turn-based Let's Play. The point is, it would be a joke at somebody else's expense, and so I would be sort of being, you know, conceited is one way of explaining or saying what it is that would be being. But because I'm sort of, it's self-deprecating, I can do that. That's how jokes work. And now we are at the West Wing. The Rassifor duo seems to be guarding the entrance to this gloomy corridor. The smell of mold and staleness emanates from afar. The few lit flares thrown around do nothing to erase the feeling of consuming darkness dwelling at the end of the hallway. You are stopped by the female Rassifor, and the conversation begins with an already anticipated warning. "Stop, sister," she says. "This is the Institute's West Wing. I would highly recommend turning around and going back, unless, of course, you have a death wish." Oh, no, I do. What is the so dangerous about the West Wing? What isn't? No, I asked what is. What isn't? One moment you could have a piece of ceiling drop right on your head and smash your skull. The second, a deadly creep might jump straight from the shadow and cull you on the spot. I'm also silly and say cull instead of kill. We don't go there, sister, well, except for Ephraitor Mateo and a Rassifor unit that went with him, but they still haven't returned. Look, I can't stop you from going there, but I can warn you. The rest is up to you. What is so dangerous about the West Wing? I already told you. Oh, she said it's just basically the same. Why don't you just bar the doors and leave this place be? Doesn't that make more sense than having guards here? Well, they were barred before, sister. Ephraitor Mateo and his Rassifors were the reason we opened the cursed doors. Now we have to stand guard in case they come back, but that's very unlikely by now. Still, orders are orders.
"Truth be told," says the male Rassifor, "with all the strange things happening, I mean, stranger than usual, I personally think it's better to have Rassifors here until the situation is cleared. Plus, I'm sure Iodine and His Excellency, our most Stravos, know the best. Or know best."
You like being here, is that what you're trying to say?
I mean Rassifors aren't us, you and me. Sorry for the confusion.
Oh, brother. What can you tell me about Ephraitor Mateo? The two Rassifors glance at each other. He and a unit of Rassifors were dispatched to the West Wing to investigate a strange electromagnetic disturbance detected by the Department of Physics, which made them turn to preservation. They claimed that there is something in the West Wing emitting these waves, something important enough to warrant sending a unit there.
Before them, I think the last time someone went there was the year Monsignor Peter died.
Oh, look at that. Monsignor, not between parentheses.
I really think that my unkind explanation for why parentheses were used for Monsignor before. I really think that explanation was correct.
Year 67. I remember... Oh,
So year 67. I remember my mother telling me about that particular entry to the West Wing when I was very young. But it's a pretty grim story. I think it's best if I skip telling it.
no, you clearly want to tell it, so please do. Can I ask you? No. When was the When was a freighter's unit sent there? 5 days ago, I believe, sister. Interestingly, shortly after that, Pavel, a Rassifor, volunteered to go there. Something for the Department of Physics, and he never returned. So I hope you understand, Carrie, that this beautiful West Wing is a dangerous place.
Proven.
So you mentioned someone named Pavel going into the West Wing? Yes, he was one of us Rassifors. He was crazy enough to accept a task from P.I. Steff from the Department of Physics. It was something about some terahertz device, was it?
Yeah, T-ray generator tech that allows for through-wall imaging. At least, that is what the investigators of physics claim.
That coma doesn't belong there. There's no reality in which this coma exists. So, anyway.
Pretty apex stuff, if what they say is true.
Yes, well, that Apex stuff got him killed. Just the thought of being swarmed by those vile West Wing creeps sends shivers down my spine. Poor Pavel. Yeah, says the woman who got in here. I got in here and she was like, this is gonna be explosions and bad things happening in here. And now she's like, oh no, it sends shivers down my spine. What can you tell me about the West Wing, more than you already told me? Well, it is the West Wing of the Institute building, and it's been in ruins long before most of us were even born. We guard the entrance to it so that no creeps can sneak in and kill anyone. I'm not sure why you say creeps. Does creep... Can you say... Like, a creep would be a vine. You could say the creep. Like, for example, the creep of the Zerg. I think the name, apart from any evocative sort of meaning that you might think, if you don't know what the Zerg are, or if you don't know what the creep of the Zerg are, the Zerg are one of the races from StarCraft. I'm not sure if you know, but obviously it's a famous setting, so many of you might know about it. And the Zerg, what they do is they have like this gooey, sort of tarmac-like, weird, rubbery ground thing that they do, and basically it's called the creep, and the thing expands over the terrain that they exist in, that Zergs exist in. So what happens is basically you build buildings over that creep, and it's called creep. And I think it's because it's called creep, or the reason why it's called creep is because that's how creeping vines are called. I'm not actually sure how to use it in a sentence though, but I do know that the vines that creep up walls, that is a way to use it. But of course, creep might be used as an abbreviation of the word creeper, or creepy, which means different things. It means like somebody who's, it's like slimy and, with a creeper. It's like, it's the word, it's the song Creep by Radiohead. So I don't know if that is the intention, because if that's the intention, that there's just a bunch of perverts up there or something? Like they're creeps? What do you mean? Because, creep doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who's a pervert. It could be just somebody who's gross or slimy or weird. Which is more in the tone of the song in particular. But anyway, why didn't you just clear it out? It is in very, very bad conditions. Everything is in ruins, and there is always the chance that something might come crashing down on you, and that's as unwanted as triploidy. I don't know what that is, triploidy. But if it's unwanted, then yes, I suppose it's unwanted. Also, there is just no use going there. The other parts of the Institute offer enough space as it is. Those few who dared go there haven't returned. Truthfully, we don't even know what resides there anymore. And I hope we never have to know what resides there anymore, she means. Can you at least tell me what to expect? I'm just curious if you have any clues as to what creatures there are in the West Wing. So far, the only creeps, that may be an explanation for that, it's creatures. We have seen our coil spiders and shadow crawlers, but, oh, that sucks. But who knows what else is there. They would sometimes sneak around, usually alone, but we kill them quickly. Although in this case, culling them makes some sense. Culling just means killing some of them. Like, you need to be seriously into the weeds of slang to transform the word cull into the word kill. It's not unreasonable, but it's still unintuitive. And in made-up slang, you don't want things that are necessarily unintuitive, because you know it's hard for us to, as readers, to because cull just means to just kill some of them, and you can't use you can say cull them quickly. But you kill some of them only, so why don't you exterminate them all completely? Anyway, still, we never had any major issues or breaches at this checkpoint, which is Apex. You know, I just remembered one more thing. Sometimes we hear very strange sounds coming from the darkness. It's strange sounds, like nothing I ever heard before. It doesn't sound like an animal or anything similar. I don't know. Can you describe it? I don't know. I can't.
I would describe it as an electrical sounding sister.
Something like an electrical discharge of sorts. Unlike as sister said. No, that can't be. Can this be an indication of how... is it Czech? I don't know. I do know that in Russian... well, I don't know for a fact, but I get the impression that in Russian there's a very... strong tendency of referring to your father as father rather than my father. Which in English, when you're referring to your father, unless you're talking to your sister or maybe to your sibling or maybe with family members, if it's familiar, if it's in a familiar discourse, then you can say father is not home, for example. But if you're talking to somebody who you're not familiar with, then you say my father is not home, and that works that way. In English, it also does in Portuguese, and I'm pretty sure in Spanish as well. It's basically the change in tone from familiar to a more formal setting allows you to make it so that you say, instead of just saying father or mother or whatever, you say my father. But in a lot of Russian, specifically Russian written games that I played, it's consistent enough that I think that distinction is very tenuous, and it's very, you know, it often goes unsaid. But and also people don't usually talk in these terms in just public speaking. So if you're learning English and you come from a language where you'd never say my father, you all say father. You all say the familiar or what would be the familiar version in English of saying, you know, father's not home. If you come from a language that always says father without the my at the beginning, whether you're in a familiar sort of familiar setting or in a more formal tone, if you come from there, it's going to be very difficult for you to realize that there's a distinction in English unless you're as pedantic as I am and as nitpicky as I am. Or, of course, in my case, I have the advantage of my language working like it does in English. But I didn't realize that, I think that it only applies to father and mother. Because in English you never say brother is not home. You always say my brother is not home. You say grandmother is not home, but you don't say my grandson. You don't say grandson is not home. You all say my grandson. So I think there's also a level of hierarchy, maybe that is implied in this sort of thing. But what I'm thinking is maybe they just maybe it's just because the pronouns are weird in English for some languages and it's difficult, and this game clearly has a lot of difficulties with pronouns, like the word the, and it forgets it a bunch of times, or like the word that it forgets a bunch of times. It's totally fine. But I'm wondering, and for those of you in the comments that know what I'm talking about and maybe speak Eastern languages, does Russian and other languages from Eastern Europe, does this make sense for people to say as sister said rather than as my sister or as our sister said? Anyway, that's an interesting thing, but anyway. Anything we have heard before? Electrical, yeah. Yeah, I too think that it is the best description, electrical. Well, there it is. There it goes. We need to go in there, but we're out of time for the day, so my rambles have taken me too long, and our exploration must be delayed, because, yeah, we're out of time. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Underrail Expedition. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead, leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.